Alrighty, we are live. Good morning. Make sure my camera is all set here. And welcome everybody. What a great week. This has just been wonderful. Last weekend I traveled to California to speak at a conference, the Holistic Management International Conference about marketing. And it was amazing. The talk went over really well, but also got to meet so many wonderful people. And of course got to sit down with Joel Salatin privately for about about an hour actually. I think we have a 45-minute video we just got done editing, or Hayden did, and that'll go out next week, talking all about marketing. And if you've listened to Joel speak before, I'm pretty sure you've never heard him talk about these things on here, because we talked about, I've heard him speak a lot at different venues all around the US, and I've been to his farm, and I've never heard him talk for 45 minutes on marketing. Lots of great ideas, so you're going to be excited to see that video. And anyway, it's Friday, time for our live video, and this week I put up a post a couple days ago that said, "What is stopping you?" Oh, yay, Sarah Smith. Welcome. Yeah, it's cool. It's coming out Tuesday, I think. So you'll see it. It's very good. We can all learn from him. You know, and there's an interesting thing about Joel Salatin, or really any famous person that I want to bring up. The bigger game you play, the more criticizers you get. And so there were, because he was the keynote speaker at this conference, he spoke twice. There were people there that were criticizing him. And, you know, and I get criticized on the internet all the time. I just encourage everyone in this group, because we're a great group of like-minded, positive, encouraging people. Put your personal feelings aside, because you can learn from every person out there. So these ranchers who were bad-mouthing him, it's like, well, what do you have to show? You know, there are a lot of great things you can learn from people like Joel Salatin. Doesn't mean, you know, you're going to take everything, but take what is valuable for you, and then leave the rest, and don't leave nasty comments. And, you know, so that's my little preach for the day. I was looking at these people at the conference like, you aren't nearly as successful. You're losing money. So why are you criticizing this person who has so much great advice? So, you know, just some nice life lessons there. Take what you can from these people. And if you don't like the rest, don't complain about it, because he's so free to give information. All right, so let's go on to today's topic. When I asked what's stopping you from selling all the products you need at your prices, what's holding you back? Thanks, Sarah. Amen. You know, I think people really get that. We got lots of great comments. Daniel French says that he often hears other farmers say they can't keep up with demand, that they have so many people interested in their products, they simply can't produce enough. And this is the problem that Daniel wishes he had. He said he has 2 freezers full of chicken. And now that farmers markets are over for the year, I'm afraid they'll still be full through the winter. We offer drop points but can't get people to order. I'm using my email list, website, and social media to try and attract customers, but it doesn't seem to be working. And Daniel is, in my comment, I gave him some of our blog posts to go over and read. Daniel's new to this. He goes on to say that marketing is not his forte. And I'm going to tell you, I'm learning to be more and more blunt, that 2,000 farmers go out of business in America every single week. And Daniel, you don't want to be one of them. So you've got to learn marketing, and the sooner the better, or you're going to be out a lot of money. Just because I'm in communication with and visiting with so many farmers who are struggling, and getting their products in front of the people that need them is the thing they struggle with. So you've got to learn this. We're deep in our course right now, and everyone, we're getting lots of comments that, wow, no wonder people are going out of business. This is great information. So if you're in a place to take the course after the new year when we offer it again, I'd suggest that. I am not here to pitch the course because it fills up. We take a limited amount of people because we coach you through it live. I'm just telling you that if you want to get over this hurdle and be able to sell product, you've got to do something. And Joel and I talk about a lot of ideas in the video next week, you'll hear. So, and the number one thing though, Daniel, is your mindset is, because I looked at your social media that I could see, you are putting your product out there, and marketing first is from a standpoint of giving. You've got to give 90% of the time, and only then do you earn the right to post about a chicken that's for sale. You know, on our Facebook page, we might post once a month about an item for sale. The other 28 days of the month are giving to them. And so you've got to come from that point. So when I look at someone's Facebook page and it's just, you know, chicken for sale, we're at this farmer's market, come by here, come by there, you're turning people off. People have developed what's called ad blindness. They don't see your, they know that, you know, here he is with another post about chickens for sale, so they don't see it anymore. They have what's called ad blindness. So you've got to make your social media interactive and give to them. Now, you're in a great place too, because you have a freezer full of chickens right now. So you'll hear Joel and I talk about this in the video, but Daniel, you need to get some of your chickens to people who will appreciate them and tell their friends. So, and what I'm, you know, one of the foundational things about marketing is you've got to connect with people. Since you have chickens, you've got a great opportunity to do that in person. So what you could do is identify somebody in your community, whether they are Weston Price followers or at a, you know, paleo or a local CrossFit gym or something. Identify someone who likes to talk a lot or likes to promote or something. Give them 2 of your chickens and tell them, you know, enjoy these chickens. They're a gift from me. If you like them, if you love them and love the idea of pastured chickens, I would love it if you would tell your friends, or, you know, make a post, you make a post on Facebook or something like that. But what this requires is you've got to get out of your comfort zone and go talk to people. You've got to find a way to do that. And then everyone you meet. So we're also, Joel and I are going to talk a lot about farmers markets, because you say the farmers markets are over. Now, if you had developed a marketing plan like we teach in the course, you would have gotten every single person at the farmer's market who came up to your booth, or at least, you know, 75% of them would be on your email list right now, and you would be emailing them engaging content. Not, we have chickens for sale, but you would be building an email relationship with them right now. It sounds like maybe when you're emailing them, it is about that you have chickens for sale. Well, if they aren't responding to that, that means you have an unengaged email list. You have a group of people on your email list and your social media who have this ad blindness. They're blind to what you're sending out because it's just self-promotion. It's just, you know, buy our chickens. So you've got to switch gears and re-engage them. And we teach you how to do that, but if you don't learn how to do that, you're going to go out of business. I just, you know, I see this more and more often. A friend of mine called or texted me a couple weeks ago and said, can you sell our chickens? We have a walk-in freezer with 1,000 chickens in them, because they doubled their chicken business this year, and they, without doubling their customer base, and because they haven't taken my course. And in our area, the average chicken is about $25. So that means they have $25,000 of inventory sitting in their walk-in freezer. And I don't know about you, but that in my freezer would just kill me, because I have so many bills that, you know, come up every month that need, you know, we could use that $25,000 for, including getting ready to buy next year's stuff, you know, babies, and build a new chicken tractor and all that. So you've got to get some money out of those chickens, but start handing them out to people who you know will create a buzz around them. All right, so I'm going to move on to another comment, because all the comments on this Facebook post that we put up were very similar. You guys are struggling from similar things. Lori Jo Hernandez said something similar to Daniel. She lives in an area that prides itself on finding the cheapest deal ever. We brag about it and make it a contest. Yes, I get that. And she said it doesn't matter about quality or who you're supporting. Now, Lori Jo, I wonder if there is within that community, is there a group I mean, does it exist that there are a group of people who do appreciate quality and will pay more for it, where price is secondary to quality? And I ask that because most areas have that. I mean, I'm sure you have a little bubble of people that appreciate quality. You've got to find them. It might mean that you too have been caught up in this group that's about cheap and, you know, the cheapest possible and bragging about it. And you've got to step out of that group and make some new friends of people that will appreciate and prioritize quality. That's the case where I am in Oregon. We have this Facebook group for Weston Price people, and they're all about the cheapest ever. And so even though I would think Weston Price people are my tribe, many of them are not. Many of the groups are like, hey, where can you find cheap raw milk? Or I get my grass-fed beef here. I need a cheaper place. And they're always looking for cheap. And I don't market to that group. As much as I know my food is exactly what they need to heal, they are about the cheapest quality ever. So I market to a whole different group. I don't spend time in that Facebook group. I don't try to find deals for them or anything. I market to a whole group of people that appreciate quality first, and price is really no object within reason, because they know that what we sell will heal them and will do so much good for them that they aren't going to dicker on 50 cents a pound or $1 here or $1 there or even $5. You know, they don't care. So within your community, step outside. If you're going to certain places and all that's there are cheap-minded people, look for the expensive stores or the high-end stores or the Whole Foods and find out and get in front of people who are quality first and price is secondary. And along those lines, in the same thread, or maybe it was another one, Christine Center, right, asked how long it took me to find my tribe. So I want to also encourage you that when you're first starting out on your farm, you can work towards finding your tribe, but you also need to make sales. So you're going to work with some people who are not necessarily your tribe. You know, they don't have the same values as you, maybe. They are, you know, looking for a cheaper deal, and maybe they'll buy your product for a while and then move on. But you've got to work with them in order to grow. And then the further down the road you get, you can focus and you will find that your email list narrows to people who specifically are your ideal customer, and those who aren't drop away. But at first, you might have to just sell to anyone who comes along. So when I first started 7 years ago, this is to Christine's question, how long it took me. I was talking with like-minded people from the get-go. So I had my tribe with me from the get-go, and then we had these peripheral people too who were not necessarily going to be long-term customers, but I needed them to keep the business going. So, and when you find your ideal customer and you market to your ideal customer, you will attract other people. But down the road, you know, those people will probably fall away, and that's okay. So I've been working with my tribe the whole 7 years I've had my business. But that's because I was, you know, in a circle. I, you know, hung out with people who appreciated quality. And those are the things I talked about was quality. Price I didn't even really address. And so those people understood that. So I hope that answers your question, that it's not a black and white thing. It's not like you don't have your tribe today and then tomorrow all of a sudden you find 100 customers who are your ideal customer. It's not that way. It's going to take you start today, and you'll just build up over time. And then now we're at a point where if someone is not my ideal customer, I can delete them off my email list if they're really, you know, the opposite of the person I want on there. I know if someone sends me an email and all it says is, how much is your raw milk? I know they are not my ideal customer, because I want to be talking, engaging with people who are asking me, you know, who are interested in a lot more than how much it is. So we have such a long wait list for our raw milk. I often don't even get back to those people by email because I don't have time. And I know that that's not my person anyway. So they're just price shopping and they're gathering information and they're not going to be a customer anyway. So I don't have the time to invest in them because you get busier the longer you go. Let's see. Down the same post, and again, I've been talking for 15 minutes. I don't want to go on and make these huge, long emails. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask them as we go along. If you've got a question about anything so far. Okay, Tina Howard said, she struggles with reaching her target market and the length of time it takes to get the right people. We do the typical things: email, newsletters, farmers market, Facebook, but our target market isn't really a farmers market person. We look for people who eat the whole animal, want to put their entire meat protein budget into one farm, and are seriously concerned about sustaining a family farm. So Tina, I don't, again, I'm guessing that your emails are more talking about your product. You say you do the typical things: email, newsletters, farmers markets, and Facebook. So look at your emails you're writing and look at your Facebook page. And if it just talks about your products and what's for sale and where to find them and how to buy them and how wonderful they are and your farming methods, if that's what's in your emails and your Facebook page, people have ad blindness. You have to engage them. We spend hours and hours in our course of you figuring out how to spend 90% of your time talking about what helps solve your customers' problems instead of your products. Only when you build that relationship with the people who are liking your Facebook page or on your email list, only when you spend the time building a relationship for weeks or months do you then have the right to try to sell to them. So, and also, Tina, difficulty in reaching your target market. Again, get out there. We have a naturopath who keeps sending us customers, so I'm going to go take her a big box of meat for free as a gift, but also because she's my target market and she's an influencer. So you guys have to spend some time getting off the farm. You're going to love this section in the video with Joel where we talk about farmers markets, and he talks about if you take, say you're doing farmers markets in our area for 6 months, that's 26 weeks a year, 26 Saturdays, the whole day is shot at a farmers market. If instead you took those 26 Saturdays and you scheduled 26 full days of marketing throughout the year, your business would be through the roof. You'd be bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, guaranteed. I know this because I see this. Farmers markets are not typically where we're going to find our customers. They are great for social reasons, but that's not how you get in front of people. Take that time instead and do what we teach in our course, which is build a relationship with people, get them on your email list, give them something free when they subscribe, communicate with them consistently every 2 weeks for the rest of their life, and only then can you tell them about a product and you will sell out immediately. So you'll be really interested in hearing that in the video with Joel, which turns upside down a lot of farmers' marketing plans. Because I know a lot of farmers who base their marketing plan only on farmers markets, and that's not going to be sustainable long term. Okay, then again, if you have questions, ask, and let me see. Oh, Amy Lauer pointed out that there are people out there, which we certainly experience, who think we shouldn't even be trying to make any money on a farm. People are like, what? You charge what for your raw milk? You should be giving it away. Your family enjoys free food throughout the year, so therefore your prices should be low. There's nothing further from the truth. We pay a dear price for that free food we eat on our farm. So Amy had an event where all she did was she charged $5 for parking. That's it. And people were upset about it. Well, number one, that's not our tribe, because our people that we want on our email list that we want to market to and do business with would totally get that. Well, number one, $5 is almost nothing. And number two, it costs a lot of resources to have an event, a fall festival at your farm. A lot. It costs us hundreds and hundreds of dollars to have a farm tour for many, many reasons. Parking, we have to re-gravel our rock driveway way more often than if we didn't have 20 people a day coming to our farm store and tours and things. So, of course, people have to pay for that. And Amy, also, I did a live video on events a few weeks ago. I would suggest you go up into the files section and find that live video, because I addressed this in here about doing events for free. And you almost reach, well, it's true, you reach a higher caliber of person when you charge more for an event, because they actually appreciate it. So we charge for our farm tours, because I don't want all the riffraff that's cheap, you know, driving in from around, bringing their friends and relatives and children to run around, because we only charge $5. So sometimes the more you charge, people respect that you are valuing yourself, and you are showing people you value yourself. So anyway, listen to that live video on events, because that was informational and right along the lines of what you're talking about here. All right, and any more questions I need to cover, Hayden, or comments? Okay, if anyone has any questions, it's been 20 minutes, and I try to keep these at 20 minutes or less. But do look for the video from Joel next weekend. If you're not on our email list, 3cowmarketing.com, you can sign up. You'll get it in your email inbox along with the blog post along with that. And otherwise it will be posted in the group here, but you're sure to get it if you're on that email list. And also, maybe one last thing, Dave Rohrer family, which is Amy, right? Yeah. She's come to understand that a huge part of our mission is education. Once people are educated to understand why eating good, clean food is important, then they're willing to spend $5 for a dozen eggs or more. And it's all mindset. I feel like we need to educate people. So be careful about finding uneducated people, because I think there's a lot of people out there who are becoming educated, and go find them. It will make your job easier. And what I suggested is, in our area, a lot of chiropractors, naturopaths, nutritionists, CrossFit gyms, those people and organizations are already doing the education for you. So you don't have to take a new person to your farm and convince them to buy your product, because that won't work. You'll turn people off. Go to these places that are already educating these people, because then you have a group of people who are already educated in the high quality of farm fresh food. Like I said, I'm going to the naturopath's office today, hopefully with a box of meat for her, thanking her for all the referrals she sends our way. We probably get 1 or 2 new people a week who, it's not just that one sale, but then who are customers of ours for, months or years. So go to those places who are already doing the education and have them refer business to you, take them product. Daniel French, back to you. Take these offices, some of your wonderful chickens, so you can try to empty out your freezer and some of your inventory. Okay, so I think that's it. It's been 20 minutes, which is trying to be my goal. If anyone has any questions, let me know. You can always email later. And again, probably Tuesday, I'll have the interview with Joel Salatin up. It looks great. It's fantastic. And it's things you've never heard him talk about on video before, I think, because I've never heard him talk about these things, and I've heard him talk a lot. All right, everyone, take care. Have a super great weekend, and I'll see you in the Facebook group. Remember, go to the files section. There's so much valuable information in there. We try to keep some of the really important posts in there, too, that you can follow up on as far as raw milk education and all that. So, oh, that's Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. Hey. And Dana. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and I will talk to you. We'll see you live next week. We still plan on doing these every Friday. So take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.